Maybe you don't need another product. You just need to know your period. If you click this video, you want to know how to synchronize your period with your skincare routine, because maybe you don't need another product. You just need to know your period. So let's get into it. Now, whether you've never been a science student, you've never been to a biology class, or you were in a biology class and you forgot the science of the menstrual cycle, as long as you are a menstruating female, you should be able to know your period, because it's not only going to help you to manage your skin, it's going to help to manage your overall health and mood. So I'm going to break this down in the simplest, most comprehensible way that you will not forget. The menstrual cycle is basically a series of events that happen in the ovary and uterus, regulated and controlled by some hormones with the sole purpose of reproduction. Now, without hormones, or if there is any issue with the hormones involved in this process, whether it's overproduction, underproduction, or they're just inhibited, this cycle will be messed up. So we're not going to get into depths of the biology of this cycle. I'm going to touch on the hormones and what is necessary for you to know to be able to synchronize your cycle with your skincare routine. Ideally, the average length of the menstrual cycle is 28 days. It could be as short as 21 days or as long as 35 days, but averagely it lasts 28 days, and it involves three main phases: the follicular phase, the ovulation phase, and the luteal phase. But for the sake of this video and the fact that we're trying to synchronize it with our skincare routine, I'll be breaking this 28 days into 4 weeks. So that will help you to know that on week 1 you're supposed to do this, week 2 you use these products, week 3, week 4, you get the vibe. The day you see your flow is day 1 of your menstrual cycle, and it could last up to like day 4, day 5. Some people bleed up to maybe day 7. So this is week 1 of your cycle, right? Day 1 through day 7. Now, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone are the hormones we will be seeing along this journey. Testosterone kind of stays the same throughout the cycle, but progesterone and estrogen kind of go up and down and up and down. Progesterone is the hormone of pregnancy. It helps to support pregnancy. Progesterone also has an effect on the skin. It stimulates the oil producing glands of the skin. That's the sebaceous glands of the skin to produce oil. This oil helps to keep the skin supple, moisturized, and also supports the skin barrier. Now, if the oil production becomes too much, it can start causing excessive oiliness and texture and clogged pores, and we don't like that. Yeah, but that's what progesterone does. So let's call him Uncle P. Okay, so in the beginning of the cycle, Uncle P is low, all hormones are low, and at this point, since the oil production abilities of progesterone is low, the sebum that is required to keep it moisturized, supple, is low. Your skin is dry, it is dull, your skin barrier is weak. It's what you're supposed to be doing is using hydrating skincare products, your hyaluronic acid, centella asiatica, panthenol. You want to use ingredients that are hydrating, barrier supporting ingredients, and you want to go low on exfoliants. You can use exfoliants, but it should be on very low percentages. So you can use like 0.5% of salicylic acid, 5% of glycolic acid, 5% of lactic acid. You just want to keep your skin hydrated and pampered. After your menses, from day 8 right up to day 14, there is a sac-like structure. It's called the follicle. This follicle contains the egg. One egg. The follicle starts to increase in size as it matures the egg, and as the egg matures, it starts to release estrogen. Now, estrogen is our girl. We love her. She's rooting for us. So let's call her Eve. The primary assignment of Eve is to ensure that reproduction happens. You remember when God told Eve and her husband in Genesis 1:28, be fruitful and multiply? She literally took that commandment and ran with it. So at this phase of the cycle, the egg is maturing and producing estrogen. And now estrogen, since its work is to prepare you for a reproduction, it makes you glow. Estrogen has an effect on the skin in that it stimulates collagen production. Collagen is the protein that makes your skin plump, elastic, soft, and youthful. It also stimulates hyaluronic acid. It supports hyaluronic acid production in the skin. Hyaluronic acid, if you're familiar with skincare, you know it is that secret ingredient for glass skin. It makes your skin supple, hydrated. It draws water into your skin. So at this point in the cycle, that is day 8 right up to day 14, your skin is glowing because estrogen is high, all right, and your mood is better. You just look attractive. Generally, that's the point. So what you should be using is vitamin C serums. You now bring in your active ingredients, your retinoids, your retinol, your tyrosinase inhibitors, all your treatment products, because your barrier is strong. Your skin can support it. You know, if you want to do any chemical peels, you want to take any treatment, in fact your skin is at its best at this point of your cycle. So you want to use all your active ingredients and yeah, just go all out. When we approach day 14, day 14 is ovulation day. This is the day where the egg is released. And so that sac that is holding the egg, the follicle, sends signal to your brain and tells the brain, oh, the egg is mature, she's ready to get out. The brain now sends a hormone called the luteinizing hormone. Let's call it LH. LH helps the follicle to open and release that egg. The egg is released on day 14, ovulation. The egg can only last for 24 hours after it is released. That follicle, after releasing the egg, becomes a yellowish body called the corpus luteum. And that's what takes us into the third phase of the cycle, which is the luteal phase. So from day 15, that corpus luteum, that yellow body, starts to produce progesterone, Uncle P. So at this point in the cycle, progesterone starts to rise. I remember that with the rise in progesterone means a rise in oiliness, excess oiliness, because it is stimulating the sebaceous glands to produce more oil. So your skin becomes oily and the oil traps dead skin cells in your pores. So you may start getting texture, whiteheads, blackheads. Your skin looks dull. Dark marks even look darker. You know, your skin is blotchy. It's just not what you want to see. Mind you, estrogen, Eve, right, she's still present, but Uncle P is now dominating at this point in the cycle. The reason is it is trying to prepare the uterus for implantation to happen. If fertilization happened and you're pregnant, progesterone and estrogen remain high, but we're not going to talk about that. If you want to know the changes, the hormonal changes in pregnancy and how you can synchronize your routine to pregnancy, let me know and I'll do another video. From day 15 right up to day 22, your skin is oily, it is blotchy, it is dull. So what you want to do is incorporate salicylic acid, exfoliants, oil balancing ingredients like niacinamide, so that you can control this oil and, you know, exfoliate your pores, because it gets worse as we approach day 21, 22. Now your body has realized that it's not pregnant, and estrogen is like, I showed you love, it didn't return the favor, peace, I'm out. So estrogen starts to drop, progesterone also starts to drop. We are now at like day 22, 23. They're declining very rapidly, and because they drop so drastically, we now start to see testosterone. Remember, testosterone is present throughout the cycle, but because estrogen and progesterone are always higher than it, it doesn't really get to dominate. But now that your body knows that, oh, you're not pregnant, estrogen, progesterone drop, and now we see testosterone. Testosterone, just like progesterone, it stimulates the sebaceous gland to produce oil, and testosterone also triggers inflammation. So the bacteria that usually just lives on your skin sees that all the oil and the clogging of dead skin cells, like some good nutrition, nourishment, so it starts to feed on it, and you get acne. That is when you realize that your period is around the corner. So by day 22, 23, right up to day 28, inflammation is going on. So you want to bring in your anti-inflammatory ingredients like benzoyl peroxide. You want to bring in sulfur, azelaic acid, so that it will kill the bacteria that is causing the inflammation, calm your skin, and so that you're not flaring up that much. And then day 28 comes and the cycle is over, and your body is like, let's try again, and we go back to day one. The cycle repeats itself. That is why at the beginning of the cycle, progesterone and estrogen are all low, because they didn't get to do what they were meant to do. They are low. So that is basically the menstrual cycle and what happens and how these hormones influence your skin. So a recap: day 1 to day 7, that is week 1, your hormones are low, your skin is dry, it is dull, it is sensitive, your barrier is weak. So you want to incorporate hydrating ingredients, barrier supporting products, mild exfoliation. From day 8 right up to day 14, your skin starts to glow because collagen production increases, hyaluronic acid is being stimulated by estrogen, your skin is firm, your skin is glowing. So you can start using your actives, your vitamin C, your exfoliants, your retinols, and all your treatment products. Day 15 right up to day 22, your skin starts to get oily, progesterone is high, your skin is getting oily, is getting dull, congested, texture, blackheads. It's just not looking its best. So you want to start exfoliating your salicylic acid, your lactic acid, your glycolic acid, your niacinamide. You want to don't go like do too much, but this is when you want to start being intentional about those ingredients. Then the 24, 25 right down to the end of the cycle, inflammation is high, so you want to bring in your anti-inflammatory ingredients, your benzoyl peroxide, your sulfur, azelaic acid, the green tea, anything that helps to calm inflammation and kill bacteria causing acne. And oh, I know that you're going to say, sometimes during my ovulation I still get breakout. Yes, it can happen. That's because even though if estrogen is dominating at this point, Uncle P is still somewhere there. We didn't completely kick him out of the train. Progesterone is still there. It's just estrogen is dominating. And so remember, there's also testosterone that is somewhere along this journey. So you may get breakout, but pimple that would have looked so ugly and so hideous before your period or on your period will now be called a love bomb. Because you're attractive, everything looks nice, even a pimple looks nice. So yeah, you can get some breakouts during your ovulation, but overall your skin is doing well, your skin can handle stuff, you're glowing. And when you're experiencing a breakout before your period or during your period or any time in your cycle, please don't touch it. Chances are it is going to resolve on its own. It's going to resolve after that phase is over. If you pinch it, poke it, squeeze it, it's going to leave you with dark marks, and the next cycle comes, you pinch, you squeeze, more dark marks, and you just end up with never-ending cycle of hyperpigmentation. If it's so annoying and you can't bear looking at it, get a pimple patch, tack it on there, and live your life. 90% of the time, it's most likely to resolve after that phase of the cycle is over. So yeah, we've come to the end of this video. If you learned a thing or two, if you found it helpful, there's only one way you can let me know, and that's by subscribing and leaving a comment. And if you're feeling very generous, please share this video to your sister, your cousin, your friend, your boyfriend, and please hit the like button. I'll see you in my next one. God bless.